Hello, welcome to Asian Petrolhead. There's something you need to know before we start this night drive of Genesis GV80. I actually lost the file containing the first 8 minutes of this night drive. I was just explaining about the gauge cluster and also sound system. I also thought about deleting this review, but it's actually going to take us more than a month to book another Genesis GV80. So I'm just gonna upload this video after saying I'm sorry, truly sorry for my mistake. So before we begin, please do support us by subscribing to our channel and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss out in the future. Okay, why don't we start our night drive on the Genesis GV80. Thank you guys. For the park assist, and that's a dial type gear selector. It's pretty simple to use. Let me just start the car. Turn left to go to reverse, turn right to go to neutral or drive. The top one to go to parking. So it's pretty straightforward to use. I think I showed you with the Kia Optima. Feels pretty good, but it feels more premium with the G matrix pattern on the side and the clear dial on the top. So it's pretty good. We also have surround view camera. You can see it like this, or you can also see it like a three-dimensional. Do you need it? No, but I think they got looks very similar to Audi's system. Can also do it like this, but do you think I need it? Yeah, no, probably not. It's even hard to park with the three-dimensional parking, so you can also change the view. But I guess you can show it to your friends and say they will be like, wow, that's cool. So that's about it. Terrain mode. You can also push one to go to dry mode, terrain mode. Dry mode, 4 dry modes: eco, comfort, sports. You see, it's that three-dimensional gauge cluster is kind of, I think it's maybe responding to my GoPro, so please excuse that. Custom mode, so 4 dry modes and 3 terrain mode. Snow, mud, sand. Okay, let me just show that. Custom, sports, comfort, and eco. When you do put it onto sport mode, there's the side bolster actually squeezes you more to keep you more in place. Okay, so let me just show you. It also has some space here with USB charging ports and 12-volt charging. Okay, it's got pattern for the brakes and also organ type gear selector, and I just really wanted to show you. Do you see it? It's very cool. I think it has a touch sensitive sensor, so when you do put your hand close to it, it'll actually show on the screen. Because there's usually, right now I'm just putting it right there, right there, right there. Usually there are so many controls, you don't know which one controls what, right? But this has a proximity sensor, so when you do put your hand near the control, it actually shows this is going to change which part. So I think it's a very, very smart system. Hazard button right here will show you how it looks like from outside, and pretty decent space right here. Very good amount of deep space, and also good amount of space up front as well. We also have not big, but some storage area here on the bottom as well. Okay, then let me just show you the second row seats. Before we do, we can also control your seats right here. You can also fold the seats. You see that? You can also fold third row seats or second row seats like this. But let's just take it out again because I want to show you. And you can also just fold the headrest like that if you wish. So that's pretty nice. It also has two-way built-in cameras. Can also, you know, car to home, but you need to account for that. Actually, you can like, I guess, turn the air conditioning to your house from your car, and also vice versa. You can actually start the car from your house and stuff like that. That's what it is, okay? So quiet mode is actually, when you put it up, it will actually limit the volume to 7. It's one thing I also have it in, you know, kind of pad 6. When you do put it onto, you know, it will lower the volume to 7. Right, so that's when the, you know, if everybody's falling asleep, then you can just put it onto quiet mode, and poor guy, you're just driving yourself. So, okay. We also have passenger talk. It actually has, you know, like I said, this guy has 18 speaker lexicon system. So the speakers right beside, you know, third row passengers. So whatever I say is picked up from microphone and is sent to over there, because whatever you say, you know, this way, you know, you can hear the second row, what second row and third row passenger is saying to you. No problem, because everybody's speaking this way. But whatever you say doesn't get passed through all the way to the third row seat. So it's actually, I don't know if you can hear it, but it actually is sending whatever I'm saying to over there. So, okay, so why don't we just show you. Maybe it's dark enough. Maybe I'll show you. Yeah, I think it's dark enough. Okay, let me just show you the, so before I forget, because usually nowadays I forget everything. So, yes, I really wanted to show this Genesis GV80 earlier than this, but, you know, just everybody wanted a piece of Genesis, so sorry it took a little bit of time, but this is what colors looks like. The white, pearl white, topaz, brown. If my GoPro doesn't pick it up, I'll try to make a B-roll so you guys can see this. Purple, violet, let me just put the seat down. So that's like a what, emerald blue green. Oh, that's hard. That's a little bit more green, custom color, and you can choose you know, among like a whole bunch of colors, 64, something like that. So why don't we just put it onto. So I actually started really liking this. So right here, right there, right all here, and on the back as well. And like I said, I really started liking this, you know, button, the dial control. I mean, I usually don't like, you know, from any other car manufacturers, but this is pretty good. Okay, so yeah, it's getting dark. Very nice. We've been waiting for this. Okay, let's wait so that it gets a little bit more darker. Why don't we just show you the second row seats? Okay, you guys know I'm about 6'2". Oh, also ghost coasting doors, very nice. You know, this was where I was sitting. You know, I'm 6'2", and there's plenty of leg room, and headroom is also very nice. Full LED interior lights. Like I said, you know, moon lamp here. Hope you can see it. Right here as well. Very comfortable second row seats. You know, like this one, you can slide manually, or you can recline it. Reclining is actually motorized, and you can actually recline pretty a lot. So that's pretty good. And you can also lift the seats like this. Do you see it? So reclining and lifting up is actually motorized, but sliding you have to do it on your own. Okay, so speaking of motorized, you also have motorized sunshade. Wow, I like that. and it actually closes the thing down. So one more time it opens the window, and you also have a, this is fully gone down. It also has a double laminated window for the second row side window, so it's pretty nice. Like I said, 18 speaker Mexican, 1 2 3, so there's even 6 for the second row passengers. Some makeup thing for your ladies, I mean even for the guys nowadays, I guess. So I heard, you know, this guy got 10 airbags, which also has an airbag right in between here, between the driver and the passenger. So, you know, hope you don't get to use it, but in case, you know, if you have a flip over or something, that will protect, you know, each other, hitting each other. So that's pretty nice. We also have, you know, map pockets here. Looks pretty genuine. 2 air vents right here. You know, my Palisade just has it here, but they placed it here. And 3-stage heated and ventilation seats. Some controls for the what do you call it? Climate control. 2 fast USB charging port, and 220-volt charging, and little hump in the middle, but it's actually not so bad. And when you even the middle seat is pretty not bad at all. So it's pretty nice. So if I were to get my Genesis GV80, I would probably get it with the 5 seats, so everybody can stay luxurious in here. We also have a, what do you call it, walk-in device for people lazy like me. And the price, you can get this Genesis GV80 with starting price of 48 grand, but if you load it up with the 3.5 liter turbocharged gasoline engine, the price can go all the way up to 70k. So, you know, you can get Palisade with starting price of 30k, 31k. So that's quite a big price gap there. Good armrest. It's really nice one. Feels very premium, and you can also have 2 cup holders like this. So you can also just take out like this. So it's actually, the whole seat moves like a 60-40 like this, but actually the middle one can be separated like this. So there's also controls for the motorized seats. So it's very nice, and I think it's dark enough. So why don't we go out and show you how it looks like from outside. Okay, then why don't we show you the car from the rear first. Just like the front DRL, it's got 2 lined tail lamp. It's actually LED tail lamp. It says Genesis GV80, Genesis logo, all-wheel drive. Tesla also has an optional all-wheel drive system. So yes, LED tail lamp, I mean the license plate. And if you, I'll put a B-roll, just like Genesis G90 and Nexo, when you back it up, it gives you very distinctive that the guideline. I'll put a B-roll for that. That looks pretty nice. Some reflectors here, and actually the tailpipe is located on the right side. You actually have to press there to open the trunk. So see, if you get it with 5 seats, it's pretty nice. They give you air vents right here. Some storage area here, not so big, but it's, you know, 2 cup holders here like this. And but when you do put the seat up, it's really small. So I think Genesis GV80 is better with 2 seats. So looks pretty nice, genuine. So fire hydrant and mobility kits here, and there's some tools. I don't want to take it out, you know, break it. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so messed up all the seats. Let's fix it later. So it looks pretty nice from the side as well. I checked and you know, it's actually about 1.3 inch lower compared to Hyundai Palisade. And you know, more surprising to this thing is that compared to Hyundai Palisade, Genesis GV80 actually has about 2.2 inch longer wheelbase. So I was very surprised that this guy has a lot longer wheelbase. And from the side, it's got two line also, side repeater. You know, Genesis wants to keep that two line thing going on. So it looks pretty good. We have a 20-inch rim. Actually, they have it up to 22, but our tester came with 20-inch rims. Okay. So headlamp system. I'll put a B-roll as well, but this got a quad headlamp. This two on the top is for the regular headlamp, and bottom one is actually for the high beam. It also has a two-lined DRL that also works as a turn signal, so it's actually bifunctional. So it looks pretty nice. Okay, let me also show you the engine room. Just start it up. Okay, maybe we need a flash. Okay, and Genesis logo on the top and G matrix pattern. I do like it, and if you see, there's also air flap in the middle to make it more efficient. 360 camera, parking sensors on either side, and also radar sensor for the adaptive cruise control, and G matrix pattern on the bottom as well. And we also have air curtains, active air curtains on each side. So that's what it looks like. And here you can get the all-new Genesis GV80 with 3 different engines here in Korea. 3-liter inline diesel engine, which makes about 278 horsepower and 433 pound-feet of torque. Let me just start the engine, let you hear it. Just like I told you, this 3-liter inline diesel engine makes about 278 horsepower and 433 pound-feet of torque. Engine is mated to 8-speed automatic, and we also have all-wheel drive system. So it says turbo 160 or inline 60. So it says turbo inline 6 diesel. So it looks pretty nice. Okay. So I think I told you everything about the car, and why don't we just go for a quick drive, okay? Okay, that's DRL, headlamp, high beam, turn signal. Okay, now let's go out to the road with Genesis GV80. So as you can see, it's got 2 red dots tracking your movement, so that it can display 3-dimensional, you know, contents without you wearing any glasses. So let me just pay. And it's got auto start and stop, so you know, during the stoplights you can, you know, remain dead silent. It's got double laminated windows for the first row and second row, so it's very quiet inside. And you know, visibility, you know, it's got a little window near the A-pillar. You know, newer Hyundai, Kia models all have this little window, and they place the you know, side mirrors under the belt line, so it looks very nice. You know, the pillars aren't so big either, and you know, the headlamp system is very bright. I mean, so it's a very good system. You also have, that's high beam. Oop, don't want to bother too many people. So, you know, when engine kicks back in, it's quite noticeable, but you know, it will actually save the fuel for you guys. So here in Korea, Genesis started selling the Genesis GV80 with 3-liter diesel engine first, And then they also have added 2.5 liter turbo and 3.5 liter turbo beginning this March 9th. And you know, I got this press car as a diesel first. I'll try to book the 3.5 liter turbo as well. 3 liter V6, I mean not V6, inline 6 diesel engines. Pretty, I think it's quiet and nicely isolated, and also, you know, they try to minimize the vibration. So it's pretty good. Will actually yield better fuel economy, although I, you know, test drove today and maybe I test drove too fast. It's returning about 8.4 today, so which isn't really bad because I drove like pretty bad today, so it's pretty good. Three-dimensional gauge cluster. Do I like it? Maybe not. I just turn it off because it kind of makes me dizzy after a while, and especially with the you know, GoPro and things like that, you know, filming. So I just turn it off. But if you like you know, techie things, I think you will love it. It actually has 2 dots in the middle following you. So drive modes, when you do put it into sport mode, the side bolster actually hugs you a little bit more. Comfort mode, I noticed if you go over like 130 kilometers, even in comfort mode, it will actually start squeezing you. And if you press on the hard brakes hard, and it will actually pull you, the seatbelt will pull you to make you more safe. Like I said, 10 airbags in this car. 1 will be right here in between to protect you driver and also passenger to the right. So this also has very lots of driving aids. You know, we just turn on the adaptive cruise control, and you know, it will just with the handle lane keep assist, and it will just drive itself for you, and which is very good system. It's coming to a full stop, and it will actually follow the Mini in front, the lead car. So don't have to do much, but it's illegal here in Korea. You're supposed to drive yourself. And it also has a lead car alert. You know, let's say you're texting and stuff like that, if you not paying attention, if the lead car departs and you're not doing it, and the car will actually show a message on the screen, on the right screen, and it will also notify you with the alert, sound alert. So pretty good. Right here it says highway assist with the things. What this does is for the first time, if there isn't any car, let's say, why don't we just go slow so there isn't any car. If there isn't any car, and if the lane is you know, clearly marked, and it will actually, oh, it doesn't do that right here. Maybe I have to go a little bit faster. Right now it's gonna do it. If there isn't any car, it also shows cars like this, just like Tesla. I think they copied Tesla because it's not dotted lines, it's not gonna do it, but let's see if it does pretty soon. Okay, so it's a very good system. Gauge cluster and infotainment screen looks pretty nice. Let me just show you the map. Looks like that. Oh yeah, it also has an augmented reality navigation system, AR. So it'll actually show like that. Let me just put a destination. So actually, let me show you. Let me just put whatever. Yeah, set as destination. And it shows AR and with the turn-by-turn signal. So let's say if there isn't any car, and make a turn signal, and it will actually change the lane for you. But you actually have to have your hand on the steering wheel. So we can do that again, make a left. Well, actually, I'm not doing it, but the car is doing it. But if I tell it to do it without holding it, it won't do it. Let me just show you in a little bit. So just like Tesla is showing few cars approaching by. So I don't have my hand on the steering wheel. Let me just slow down a little bit. So it's showing all the AR thing like that. So let's try. Whoa. Let's try to ask it to do lane changes, and it will just place hands on the steering wheel. So it's a half system. You have to have this hand on the steering wheel, and it will do it for you, which is a half system, but it's something new from Genesis, and I hope they develop this so that they can have some system new as a Tesla, something new, which is good. Okay, so why don't we just show you the engine for a second. Okay, this has a 3-liter inline diesel engine, which makes about 278 horsepower and 433 pound-feet of torque. Let me just put the car into on this. Let me just show you in comfort mode. It feels pretty good. Oh, even in comfort mode, about 130 kilometers, it starts hugging me. The seat kind of inflates and starts holding me. Let's just get this. We're gonna put this in sport mode like this. And I'm not really a fan of the RPM gauge going counterclockwise. I don't know why Hyundai is doing this, but I like that Kia is doing the right way. So please, Genesis, can we have at least the option so that when you choose it, it goes the right way? So please do that. Okay, so we are in sport mode. Let me just put it down. So it's pretty smooth. I think the number one goal was to make this SUV very, very smooth and comfortable rather than being responsive. I mean, on the paper, it's got much more power, 433 pound-feet of torque, 278 horsepower, but it feels like, it just doesn't want to give everything it's got. So overall, the peak torque starts as early as 1750 RPM, so you can really enjoy the fat torque from the low RPM. So it's generally very, very nice. So that's AR. I just want to show you a few more things. They give you like a exit now sort of a graphic, which is very, very easy to see. So we also have blind spot monitoring system, just like K900, Genesis G90 and everybody. So even now Hyundai Sonata has them. So what do you think about the augmented reality navigation guidance? Do let me know in the comment section. I think it's generally pretty nice. What about the handling? Well, it feels very, very. This car is a lot heavier than Hyundai Palisade and probably Kia Telluride, but this guy handles actually very, very nice. I don't think it's tuned to be really, really stiff, so it will roll. It will have body roll, and it will also feel not that stiff. But once it starts handling, it will start handling very, very nicely. I was quite surprised because this also has an all-wheel drive system, and it's rear bias system. And at the limit, if you start, accelerating, it will actually the rear kind of steps out and help you handle. So I was very, very surprised. It actually handles like a king. I'll put a B-roll on this, me doing the handling this car during the daytime review. So it's actually very, very nice. I was very surprised. So does it handle better than the Hyundai Palisade? It's very different feeling because this is rear driven bias all-wheel drive system. Oh, I wanted to show you this. It's like a video game. It's like exit now right here. So now, okay, let's okay, how do we and stop the route. Okay, so oh, that's a front collision warning. Ooh, yeah. So this car feels quite heavy, but because it's got lots of torque, it just pushes the car very smoothly, and I certainly like that. And then 3-liter diesel, yes, it has that sound to it, diesel sound to it, but it's not that loud. So it goes pretty nice too. It's not a slow SUV. And I was really surprised about the brakes too. Like I told you, this is a heavy guy. When you step on the brake hard, you can certainly feel the weight of the car. But it actually brakes very nice. It only took about 100 feet to complete stop from 60 miles to 0, so I was very, very surprised. And one thing that kind of bothers me, just one thing, two things. One, the RPM gauge, and also the other thing is that maybe I think it's just a problem for this press car, because I'm hearing lots of wind noise coming near the A-pillar, maybe near the side mirror, I'm not really sure, but it's making lots of noise when I drive a little bit over 90 kilometers right now. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It's got lots of wind noise coming from this particular area. Because last time when I gave you the first drive on this Genesis GV80, it was black one, didn't have that problem. So, but at the first drive I also drove quite fast, but didn't hear that. But this particular car makes this rear wind noise coming from this particular area. So I hope it's not their design problem. So, but if it is, then we have some issues here. Overall, this car is very, very easy to drive, and also it will make you very relaxed and comfortable. So I think that's their Genesis #1 objective. Rather than being responsive, let's make it very comfortable and smooth. And if there's a guy like me, then you can actually wait a little, and it will actually build up the speed, and it goes pretty nicely. Gosh, wow. Whoa. So we also have 8-speed automatic. It behaves very nicely. I mean, right now we're doing it. Paddle shifter actually works very nicely. I have zero complaint about this 8-speed automatic. It's doing very good job, I think. I do really like this 8-speed automatic, although it's diesel. It's quite responsive too, but like I said, just like the engine, I think the 8-speed automatic is tuned to be smooth than responsiveness. But you know, it goes pretty well with the size of the SUV. I mean, no problem. And I'm glad, you know, Genesis didn't put too much sound generator. I think they used a little bit, but it's not too much. It's pretty good. It's just, you know, they didn't overly use it, so it's pretty good. I mean, there's also 3 terrain modes: snow, mud, or sand. But you know, we only had this car for a day and didn't have time to go to off-roading. But maybe next time we'll try to book a press car again and show you how this car attacks the you know, mountain roads. Okay. You know, one thing I found is that this Genesis GV80 is really, really good at just cruising. You know, like this, you know, just it also has highway driving assistance, adaptive cruise control, and lane keep assist, and also it will just change the lane for you, which is pretty good. I mean, why not? Overall, I mean, the seats are comfortable. Like I said, the visibility is very, very excellent, and you know, you got everything you need. 14.5 infotainment screen. Like I said, it's a little bit far, but you know, once you get used to this dial pad, it's very, very nice, and it also has G matrix pattern everywhere. So, but I do really like the interior. It's I wish you know, this press car had a little bit bright color. Maybe I'm getting old, but I don't like this kind of dull color anymore. So I've seen one with like a vanilla white. It looks very nice, but probably hard to clean. But you know, giving you some work, something to do, I guess. So this car, I always wanted to, and the head-up display is really, really amazing. It shows every information, your speed, speed limits, the car nearby, and if there's some cars approaching, if you do, it will also alert you. So it's got pretty much everything so you need. So let's see, it will come to a full stop because right now we activated the adaptive cruise control. So let me also show you the lead car departure warning. Let's see. So it says lead vehicle is driving away. Ooh. So that's how the system works, okay? And we also shot a daytime review of this Genesis GV80, and we actually compare it to my Hyundai Palisade. So please refer to that video as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you love cars and car reviews, before you leave, please do support us by subscribing to our channel and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss out in the future. Thank you guys, and see you soon, and stay healthy. Bye-bye.